understand what they can control and what they can't. Defects are a big thing. They're cupping roasted product and tasting defects, but they don't know that the defects are part grain, so then they go back to their roast profiles and manipulate. So they don't necessarily know the root cause of things, and they misdiagnose and chase tails. And then the other thing I see a lot is just going back to the overly complex roast profiles. I've seen changes every 5 seconds, 10 seconds and things, and I question whether or not there's really an impact. And if it's a fleeting impact or if it's something that really needs to be there. So, yeah.
All right, do we have any questions in the audience here? Anyone? All right, I think that's a good, well, I have one, yeah. But it's a good, it means that you had a good lecture. Everyone, no questions. When I started roasting in 2010, I remember we wanted always to be as different as the industry as possible, right? It was even a unique selling point to hand pack the coffee. Buy my coffee, I've touched it. That was like the... and what do you think is the kind of the most important thing that small roasteries can learn from the industry without becoming industry?
How to maintain their differentiation within their...
Yeah, I mean, is it automacy? I can't, you understand. Or is it, yeah, you talked about using too much equipment and data, so I guess that's a balance as well. But is it anything the industry is doing better than us, I guess?
It's interesting. Honestly, I've been wrong about the industry since I started. 2004, I thought about opening a coffee roaster and was like, no, the market's saturated. And then I really didn't think K-Cups would be successful. I didn't think that anyone would drink that and continue to drink it. And then I thought cold brew wasn't the best idea. And when I worked at Intelligentsia, I encouraged them to not brew coffee to order, especially in New York City, where I had been living. People won't wait for coffee. And I've been wrong quite a bit. But I would say that there's some interesting differentiation, and it comes up in unexpected places. The barrel aging of coffees, whether or not it's something you approve of or believe that it has quality ramification, it is different. I've seen a couple of different packages and packaging types that are quite interesting, but I'm always surprised, to be honest. I'm always surprised, and I would encourage, I think some of these other industries have places where we can pick from. There's really interesting stuff happening, obviously, in the beer industry and the wine industry, and I think there's a lot of cross-pollination and a lot of opportunity to explore and dig. But yeah.
I have a question that's big, but I want you to answer really short. You talked about the value words we use in the business, like we talk about transparency and sustainability and quality and all these hand-packed and all these things. If you would advise a small roastery or a medium-sized craft roastery to focus on one thing, to actually deliver on one of all those things, what would that be?
Cup quality. Qualities in... Yeah, you've got some good resources in the room, actually. There's so many times that I taste a coffee that it's priced where you would expect a specialty coffee to be priced, but it just doesn't meet the expectations. It could be a quality issue. It could be inventory management. I never know what the root cause of some of the issues are, but I would say that your most valuable asset is your ability to actually taste the coffee and be able to make a judgment about it and to be able to feel confident in the product that you're selling. So I'd say that, that you can read books and you can find out about forecasting and supply chain and contracts and all that through books and seminar webinars or whatever, but cupping has to happen with your suppliers, and you really need to be in tune with how to cup, how to evaluate what's important, how to identify defects so that you know what you're actually capable of doing within your roasting facility and what's outside of your control, and then, okay, so I don't want that in my, my supply, so how to identify these types of things. So I'd say cupping and quality. Quality is number one, for sure.
Great. Thank you, Chris Hallien from Cropster.